Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and yet another box or two from Scott out in the West Coast from the results of his flea market finds. I'm beginning to think that you got to get up pretty early in the morning to beat out some of the deals that Scott's been finding lately. I'm also beginning to think that you won't find any because he might be buying every reel out there. So Scott has sent me yet a couple new boxes of reels. And we'll see which ones we can go ahead and work on here, and which ones might become the sources of videos. So this one looks like an interesting group of older reels. He always sends me a little recap of what's in there. And let's start with one that'll never go out of style, and that is a Penn 4.0 Senator. It says it's never been serviced, and this one is in nice condition. This one is certainly a dependable workhorse that's been around forever and will continue to fish and fish and fish. Just keep it serviced and it'll last a long time. Now, interestingly enough, I just did a 4.0 reel in a bag service video. It'll be posted in the next week or so. So I won't be doing a video on this one, but the procedures will be very similar. Here's a Cardinal. This is the Cardinal 754. These are the 80s. They're beautiful reels, and these are still made in Sweden, I believe. I think that still has the Swedish tag on it. But regardless, it has a rear drag on this one. And Cardinal's 700 series went a little bit further. They have more capacity than your traditional freshwater rear drag fishing reel. Well, it sounds like we have got our spring storms finally. This one, just complaining, squeaky gear gets the oil, right? Well, that's what's going on here. This one should be fine. Let's check the override on that. Okay, well, and this has got the single spot anti-reverse. It'll always come back to here because it is that trip feature for casting, the easy cast feature. We've got the 401. So this is the Mitchell high-speed reel. It's the upper class cousin, if you will, to the 300 series, and the 401 is a right-handed drive. And typical of almost all of the Mitchell reels that don't get a lot of service, this one is very slow from dried up grease. I just did 2 Mitchell reels for Kent, and Kent sent me those reels in, and sure enough, one of them was struggling with the exact same issue. Well, here's a quantum reel. I think it might be the iron. Kind of hard to see on this one. It's worn off the side. Yeah, this is the iron 410. I did a video on the irons, and this one will be comparable. We'll see how much it differs, and if it differs a lot, well, we'll go ahead and make a video on that. This one's got the flipper button on it. Oh, that's the click. It doesn't have the flipper button on it. Okay, my bad. All right, we've got a Penn 77. These things were one of the first reels that Penn made. They are just the bigger version of the the old bait caster kind of reels. This one would be from the 40s, or actually I think we determined this one's from the 20s. But the same idea, just adapted for inshore ocean. It's a knuckle buster, goes both ways. This one's just grease choked. It's hard to turn, but it does turn, and I'm sure we'll get that one working again. So here's a bigger jig master. This is a more modern jig master. It's the 500, and this is probably the last of the versions of Made in the USA. I was just checking. If it doesn't say Made in the USA, the Jig Master was not made in the USA. Production moved abroad around 2005. So my guess is this is the early 2000s. The reel overall is very clean. Let's take a peek inside, see what's going on there. Yeah, it's very clean. I would say, if anything, it's just missing the oils and greases in this case. So you have 2 things that'll slow a reel down. One of them is just dried up grease like we saw on the 77 and on that Mitchell. The other thing that'll slow it down is no grease, which you just saw here. This is an Ocean City reel, and this one is the, well, it's branded as Viking. And Bronson, it's a Bronson reel, Bronson Viking. I believe at one point, somewhere along the line, that Ocean City either made the reels for Bronson or wound up buying the Bronson company. I'm not quite sure which way it went. It's a nice old reel, probably 1940s. It's got a wooden handle on it. So I would guess the 40s with that one. Bronson made very nice reels during that period. We have another Mitchell here. This one's another right-hand drive Mitchell. I always get confused with these because it appears that the piece is on upside down. Most of the time the Mitchell brand plate is facing below where you read it. In this case, it's facing above. But you can't change the case. It's a left-handed sided case. So what may have happened on this reel is this may have been set up as a 301. Maybe the 301 broke and somebody replaced that gear side with a 300 gear side. Not sure of the story on that one. I know an awful lot about Mitchells, but I don't know everything about Mitchells. And then Scott found a bigger one. This is probably the 68, maybe? Yeah, this is the 68. This is almost the same reel as the 40 wide spool. There are some differences in it. There's no metal trim ring. The drags are less a smaller drag set than the others, but for the most part, trolling reel, deep sea ocean fishing. That's box number 1. Jeez, I think he's trying to put me out of business because the more I work on his reels, the slower the other reels are getting in, but Scott also appreciates that I have to move some of the others ahead. All right, we've got a couple more here. So here's where you start to get collectible. You've got the old box. This is the 114, so that's the 60. Old box, and if it's got old pieces and parts in there, well, it doesn't. This is an old reel. It's in beautiful condition. His question is, what year is this? Well, this is going to be interesting to kind of find out. So some of the clues to the reel is, does it have an etched side plate? This one has an etched side plate. This one has the old Dacron line on it, so Dacron started going out of favors in the 60s and 70s, replaced by heavier monofilament. It's the 60. Some of the clues, you've got the bullet handle, and this box is circa 1960s, if I remember. So I think he's probably in the 1960s with it. This one's going to be beautiful when it gets fixed. Yeah, here we go. Boy, when you say that the box can be the key, here's a little sticker here that says 5761, done by Sunset Line and Twine. Interesting. Well, there you go. Good guess. There's another one. Now, if you were collecting these, the box condition almost means as much as the internals. But this one, again, is a nice one. This is the 60 again. Edge side plate on the deal. What year? Original box. He took the line off of this one. This one came from the Pasadena Rose Bowl. It's going to clean up nicely. These are beautiful reels. They'll fish as good today as they did back in the day. They're still in demand. There is a difference. Some of them have gone to the high speed. These are the low speed pen reels. But they are beautiful reels nonetheless. And if you're in for trolling for big heavy fish, then that's going to do you well there. Well, Scott sent me one more box that I think has 2 or 3 more reels in it. And I think what he wound up with here, he found me a big 9.0 Daiwa. Every now and then Scott will go shopping for me. I've been interested in the bigger reels for the East Coast trolling. This one is the Daiwa Sea Line 900. It's a big trolling reel on par with the pens, made in the 1970s. This is a beauty. Still, this one's got the original box. It's got some of the original paperwork about sending in your warranty cards and the manual and some of the other stuff that went along with it. And this one doesn't look used very much. It's got original, I go back to the Dacron line with this. The stickers and everything are nice and shiny. This one hardly looks used. But we'll make sure that there's no dry grease in it, and this one's ready to go fishing. when we work on that reel. And I think there's one more in this box. So if you like to see these videos, if you want to see the ones that I'm going to be working on, please subscribe to my channel. And if you subscribe to my channel, please hit that notification button. That way you'll see when I'm posting these videos, and it'll give you a good indication of which ones you want to go watch. So this is another Jig Master. In the previous edition, he sent me a series of Jig Masters. Let's back the sandal off a little bit. Let's just check inside. Again, this one's in beautiful condition. So don't think that when you're going to a flea market, and I think this one was from his Pasadena flea markets at the Rose Bowl. That's a beautiful interior. Don't think because you're going to a flea market, all you're going to do is find junk. There's a lot of folks that have become disenfranchised with eBay and the like lately, and have taken to selling their products in the flea markets. There's a lot of people that have made small businesses out of providing high quality used reels for people to take fishing again. And there's a lot of reasons why flea markets could have the reel you're looking for and not just selling junk. So I know on more than one occasion I've made comments about what to look for and how to determine if a flea market reel is a good one. But overall, you can find great bargains at the flea markets like Scott has been doing. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Please stay tuned. If you have any questions on these reels, if you see a reel that you would like to have serviced, then go ahead and shoot me a note. I'll try and make a video on that reel. And to everybody who's a first responder, thank you for everything it is that you do. And to those of you that are first responders, just keep up the good work. To all, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.